I get asked a lot about makeup for acne-prone skin, makeup for sensitive skin, and in general, how to avoid breakouts while still being able to enjoy makeup. The truth is, we all have different skin types. There are a ton of different factors and variables that can contribute to acne, but there are some tips you can keep in mind for a more skin-friendly makeup routine. Now, obviously, I'm not a dermatologist, but I am an acne-prone girly who loves makeup, and over the years, I've learned sort of the base rules on how to work with both. So that's what this video is all about, and today we are sponsored by Agency, a skincare service I've been using and loving for the past 4 months. Let's get into these tips, but first, if you're new here, hi, my name is Miranda. Welcome to my channel where we talk all things budget beauty. If that sounds interesting to you, then become the newest member of the Slashed Squad by hitting subscribe and the bell icon. Okay, tip number 1, this is the easiest way you can instantly make your makeup routine a little more skin-friendly. Look for non-comedogenic products. Now, when something is comedogenic, that means that a product or its ingredients block your pores. So this can lead to oil and dirt getting trapped in your skin, which can then lead to blackheads and acne. So when something is labeled non-comedogenic, that means that it's not pore clogging, it's more breathable, and definitely a better choice for acne-prone skin. Now, this isn't an end-all and be-all rule for whether or not a product is going to break you out, because again, like I've said, there are so many factors that cause acne, but it's definitely a great place to start. A lot of brands will put the non-comedogenic label either directly on the product, or you will usually find it listed in the description of a product online. However, there is a resource when I'm unsure about a product. I go to a website called cosdna.com. That's COSDNA.com. You can look up a product or an ingredient and it will rate it on how comedogenic it is. My second tip is definitely easier said than done, but it's always best to err on the side of caution and pick fragrance-free products if you are acne-prone or have sensitive skin. Fragrance is one of the most common irritants in makeup and skincare, and what's so frustrating about it is that on an ingredients list, like on a product packaging, they only have to list the word fragrance, even though so many other ingredients can go into what makes up that fragrance. Now, I know that I'm actually allergic to an ingredient that's often used as cosmetic fragrance, but I'm never going to see that ingredient listed on a product because it's just going to be under the fragrance word umbrella. So it's absolutely safer for me to avoid fragrance altogether. Now, because of my job, that doesn't usually happen. But if you don't test beauty products for a living, then it's something you should consider. So I wanted to share some fragrance-free and non-comedogenic drugstore foundations with you. Now, full disclosure, the ColourPop, Wet n Wild, and NYX foundations on the screen don't actually claim the non-comedogenic label, but when checking the ingredients, they rate really low on the pore clogging scale. So that's why they made this list. So with that said, first we do have the ColourPop Pretty Fresh foundation. This would be great for drier skin. It has hyaluronic acid, a natural finish with medium coverage. Next to the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Hydrating Tint, this is a super lightweight skin tint, but you can actually build up the coverage to about medium. It's on the radiant side without getting too dewy and makes your skin look so healthy and bouncy. Again, great for drier skin types. For oily skin, your best choice is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation. I feel like this surprises a lot of people because the coverage is buildable up to full, but it is indeed non-comedogenic and fragrance-free. The Almay Clear Complexion Makeup, not only is this non-comedogenic, but it actually treats acne with salicylic acid and prebiotics in the formula, so it can calm your skin while you wear it. The Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator has become one of the most popular tinted moisturizers at the drugstore, great for when you want to keep things light. And finally, the NYX Bare With Me Blur Tint Foundation. This is another matte option that offers medium coverage, and again, doesn't claim to be non-comedogenic, but its ingredients are not high on the pore clogging list. Now, I did want to point out 2 other drugstore favorites, including one of my holy grails, the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation. While this one does claim to be non-comedogenic, it also contains fragrance. Now, I haven't had an issue with this particular fragrance, but it's just something to keep in mind. And same goes for the Maybelline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth Foundation. Unlike the matte version, this one does contain fragrance, but remains non-comedogenic. So tip number 3 may be a hard pill for some people to swallow, but it has to be said. Even the most high-end expensive makeup can't make up for a lacking skincare routine. Sometimes your makeup isn't the problem. And if you have skin concerns that you're constantly trying to cover up or work around, it just makes makeup more difficult and non-enjoyable. And that's what we're all here for. For a long time, I dealt with cystic acne and skin texture that I would use heavier makeup products to cover or smooth out. I would also layer a lot to cover hyperpigmentation. But once I started focusing on really curating a skincare routine that worked for me versus a makeup routine to cover my skin concerns, everything got easier. Now, I want to share with you what I've been using, and I'm super excited because I mentioned them briefly in my last video, and in the comments, so many of you told me that you use this too and love them. So I've been using Agency. I started in December of last year, so it's been about 4.5 months. Now, Agency is the sister brand to Curology, which you may be familiar with from social media or even this channel. I used them for years. And the concept's very similar. Agency is an online skincare service. They connect you with a licensed dermatology provider and send you personalized prescription skincare to your door. Now, the big difference is that Curology is more about treating acne, where Agency is like the anti-aging department. They also deal with texture and fading dark spots. Now, as some of you know from my Q&A video I did recently, I just turned 30 last month. Woo! And these are exactly the skincare goals that I'm focusing on now. So I get 2 formulas shipped to my door. The first is the Future formula. This helps reduce fine lines, smooth texture, boosts firmness, improves the look of discoloration, and helps keep my pores clear. While the Dark Spot formula, just like the name suggests, helps fade stubborn dark spots, including melasma and hyperpigmentation. It helps brighten skin and reduce redness. Now, since using Agency, the biggest difference I've seen in my skin is definitely the fading of my larger hyperpigmentation areas. I used to have really big splotches on either side of my face on my cheeks, so that I feel has evened out dramatically. I also feel like it's helped with the texture of my skin. It's looking smoother and glowier and bouncier. So what this means is my makeup routine has become so much easier. I enjoy using lighter products now. Also, their products are vegan, cruelty-free, paraben-free, and fragrance-free. So I've been really happy using Agency the last few months and seeing how it's actually improved my makeup routine as well as my skincare routine. And like I said, I got comments last time saying that a lot of you are already subscribers, which is awesome. But if you're not, you can start your 30-day trial at the link in the description. All right, tip number 4, another one that may be unpopular. Don't fall for clean marketing blindly. When you see a product labeled clean, you have to take it with a grain of salt because there's no universal standard or even requirements that a product has to meet for them to be able to use that label. Every brand can define what they mean when they say clean differently. And the thing is that you can't assume when something is labeled clean, that means that its ingredients won't irritate your skin. Because especially when something's labeled clean because it uses natural ingredients, for example, there are a lot of natural ingredients that can cause acne. One of the biggest perpetrators that is so popular in clean beauty, coconut oil. Coconut oil is pore clogging. It's comedogenic. Now, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of clean makeup products that I love that work great for me, but my point is don't just make assumptions based on that marketing label and, do your due diligence about checking out what's actually inside the product. And finally, tip number 5. Cleaning your application tools and your makeup workspace is just as important to your skin health as the actual makeup you're wearing. You could be doing tips 1 through 4 on this list already, but if you're not keeping your application tools clean, you're canceling yourself out. Now, of course, I'm gonna tell you that you should be washing your brushes and your sponges regularly, but I'm gonna take it one step further than that and tell you you should be washing them with skin-friendly products. Look for fragrance-free, hypoallergenic brush shampoos, or one of my favorite really cheap products to wash my brushes with, the Sensitive Skin fragrance-free Dove Bar. Don't be using coconut oil. We already talked about that. Don't be using olive oil. I had been thinking of doing an updated brush cleaning routine video and all of the tools and accessories that I use during this process because it's a big one. I have over 100 brushes. So let me know if that's something you'd want to see. So I want to know which of these tips resonated with you the most. Which can you work into your routine? And if you have any personal tips that you've applied to your own makeup routine to make it more skin friendly for yourself, share them in the comments below. Today's shout out goes to Cor de Rosa. Thanks for being a member of the Slashed Squad. And join me over in this video next, which is a chatty get ready with me where I answer a ton of beauty questions you sent in as well as some personal questions. I'll see you over there. Bye.